Welcome back to Yoshi Entertainment, everybody. So, just recently, the entire internet, including Twitter, always including Twitter, if not Twitter the most, blew up because Kanye West's daughter, we all know as Northwest Kardashian, was all over TikTok, y'all, with her friends, I guess, dressed up as Ice Spice. And if you don't know who Ice Spice is, she is a rapper who is, I'm pretty sure she was around, for some time now, but she's kind of getting a little more attention, becoming more mainstream. She was on a song with Pink Pantheress, who they made, a song together called Boy's a Liar, I guess is what it's called. I guess, Kim Kardashian had Ice Spice over at the house, so that North could meet her because North really liked her or looked up to her or whatever. And this girl was dressed up as Ice Spice, y'all. The whole wig and everything, dancing on TikTok. Now, there are a lot of people who have mixed, expressions and views about this always, as you can see. A lot of people were saying that they felt that Kanye was right about everything he said about her, all of the stuff that, about him trying to get people to understand that, she was going to exploit their daughter, like how her mother had exploited her and like how she exploited herself. Anybody with eyes and a brain that works, I feel like, kind of knew that and saw it coming. Now, there were some people who had the audacity to get on the internet and I guess try to say like, like, oh, it's not that big of a deal, like, oh, you're overreacting, like she's a child, like let her live, which is just really ridiculous to me. Like, and again, these kind of people don't need children. I don't know if I've said this before on the channel, but there are some people who I wholeheartedly believe do not need to have children. People like Kim Kardashian don't need to have children. People who are the people that are saying it's okay for a child to get on the internet, to get on TikTok, and a 9-year-old, mind you, she's 9, to dress like a celebrity who is exploited, whose body is exploited. You can say whatever you want to. Oh, I like Ice Spice. She's so cute and she raps well and she's this and that. Congratulations. But the woman is exploited, okay? She raps about, we all know what they all rap about. Like, I don't have to, go through a whole dissertation about what they rap about. Nothing that children should be singing about, okay? She exploits herself, she's dressed provocatively. So for what I want to say is, like, I get it, maybe North finds some kind of identity in Ice Spice. I don't know, but why would, you let your child, I don't know, I guess maybe the meetup was nice, I guess, but again, like, why would you, I can't say let your child because I figure they'll do what they want to, but it's the idea of a child looking up to a secular artist, again, who we know what she raps about. I'm not trying to say like that she's this awful person, but like I said, I keep thinking to myself, if this were my daughter, I'd be like, maybe you should have better, role models. Maybe you should look up to somebody else. I'm just saying, again, like we know what the deal is, okay? And again, as a mother, I would want my daughter to not, exploit herself on the internet, because there were people saying that, like, listen, nobody wants to hear this, but there are people who look at these children, okay, on the internet. Like, you have to be a parent that has, some kind of like control over what your child is doing. You have to govern them accordingly. You have to make sure they're not going on the internet, like I said, doing stuff that they shouldn't be. And it's kind of mind-boggling because some of these people, they really don't see anything wrong with this. I think some of these people don't have kids, or maybe they do, and they're just piss poor at parenting. Yes, I said it. But it's a sad thing when we have a generation of adults that don't see what's wrong with this kind of stuff. Again, the whole thing with her looking up to somebody like Ice Spice, and then, like I said, people making excuses, going so far as to say, oh, well, when I was a kid, I knew all the lyrics to, stuff like this one tweet that was like, oh, I knew all the lyrics to My Back, My Neck, all that kind of stuff. And in my mind, I'm like, okay, well, you do understand then your parents failed in that area, right? Like, you bragging about this girl should be able to get on the internet, this 9-year-old, and dance around and act like an adult who, like I said, we know what she raps about. You're justifying that by saying, well, when you were a child, you were exposed to songs with lyrics that were disgusting, that were inappropriate, that were sexualized. Like, so basically you're telling me that your parents failed to keep you protected and to keep your innocence intact. And there was another tweet, like I said, saying, well, you can't like hide them from everything. Like, they need to know from somebody. And that's true. Like, you need to sit them down and, help them understand how, that there are people out in the world that are bad, how sex works, that they don't need to be having kids, they don't need to be having sex. But there's a line that's crossed. You can sit your child down and say, hey, this is what sex is. You're a girl, this is a boy. Sometimes you're going to have certain feelings. You don't act on those feelings, okay? Like, you need to focus on your education because you're a child. You don't need to be thinking about sex without showing them explicit material or letting them listen to explicit songs. You need to tell them, listen, if your friends are, at school are saying, hey, look at this or listen to this, and it starts to sound crazy, like something that I don't usually listen to, you need to tell them to go away or to leave you alone, because that's not okay, and you don't want to listen to that garbage at a young age. But first, of course, you would have to be a competent parent that can show a child this is appropriate, this is what you should be looking at, this is what you should be listening to, and anything different is inappropriate. You'd have to be a competent parent, that can guide their child, wisely first in order to do that. Exposing them is not helping them. You know what I'm saying? That's messing their minds up at an early age for them not to be able to be functional in certain areas of their life as an adult. And these same adults wonder why they got problems. Like I said, the ones who were exposed as children, they wonder why they got problems. But anyways, there are a lot of people who are trying to come to his defense. Some people brought up that video of him when he was saying, he knows that the media doesn't appreciate the involvement of father figures sometimes, trying to stop this stuff from happening.
I know y'all don't respect fathers and the idea of family, and media tries to promote something. I said, I'm not allowing my daughter to be used by TikTok, to be used by Disney. I have a say-so.
And I'm glad they re-brought that video up. But again, here's what I have to say about that. And I've said this before. Y'all know how I feel about these people. I don't feel sorry for Kim Kardashian. I don't feel sorry for Kanye West. Guess why? He knew that family was a family of weirdos before he married into that family. Now, there are rumors, and I believe the rumors, but I'll say allegedly, that he wanted Kim Kardashian for years before he was able to get with her, that he lusted after that woman. Like I said, we all know that these people were weirdos, okay? He knew what kind of woman she was. He knew that woman's mother exploited her. And please miss me with that there was no way he could have, because she literally had a whole sex tape, okay, with Ray J before they got together. So why would you even want to be with somebody like that, who clearly never changed from that time, had a whole tape, and he still wanted to be with her, knowing what that family was about, knowing the exploitation that went on in that family. Now he wants to be mad after he has set up and had 4 children with that woman. His daughter, his oldest daughter being the oldest, and I think he has another daughter if I'm not mistaken. But I'm failing to understand why I should feel anything for him when he knew that this was the kind of woman she was. He was being governed by his lust when he got into a relationship with her. I don't care what anybody says. I'm going to always bring up that point when he boo-hoos on the internet about this is not right, this is not fair. And he should, as a father, he has that right. Although I'm going to keep reminding everybody that nobody should feel sorry for him because he did this to himself. I feel sorry for those children because he failed them when he decided to be with her and have children with her. This is why I've said for both men and women, you've got to be careful. Like, out of your behind, you've got to be careful who you lay down with and who you choose to have children with, because that person can ruin you and your children. There are consequences, heavy repercussions, y'all, for not being careful and wise with who you lay down with who you have children with who you give your seed. And sometimes those repercussions, those consequences look like your child getting exploited. So he needs to go ahead and instead of, while he's boo-hooing, he needs to go ahead and take accountability and say, this is my fault. I should have never got with her. I should have never had kids with her because I knew what kind of woman she was and that she was going to do this. I shouldn't have got with her. He needs to take accountability. I'm still waiting for him to take accountability, and he hasn't yet. But maybe one day he will. I don't know. Like I said, I don't feel bad for him. I feel bad for those kids because they don't deserve to have incompetent parents who, one of which is exploiting them, okay? They don't deserve that. I feel bad for the kids, and I always only feel bad for the kids, not the stupid adults that got involved. But anyways, after my rant, y'all, there were some people that were coming to his defense saying, see, Kanye West was right. She ain't no good up here, got this child up here dressed like a rapper who we know what she rap about. Low-key, I feel like some of these people were mocking him with these Twitter posts, but nonetheless, there were people coming to his defense and to the child's defense, letting them know this is, the sexualization of a child. I don't know what is it about this child that people keep forgetting she's only 9 years old. She doesn't even need to be on the internet. Why does she need to be on the internet? Why can't this child play like a child, dress up like a child, as a child in the privacy of her own room and home? Why must her mother invite all these, onlookers into their home and, have them looking at her child dancing around? Like, why can't they just do this in privacy? Like, why must she have, this attention on her child? There were really some people saying, oh, just let her live. Like, just because there are predators on the internet that wants to see her doesn't mean she should have to, like, not be able to live and have fun. That's the most ridiculous bullcrap I've ever heard in my life. But there are people saying it on the internet, on Twitter. And the sad part is, some of these people don't realize how this can negatively impact a child and her development as she goes and grows into an adult. Like, people don't realize, like, this kind of attention, this kind of, like, clout, so to speak, like, this could have a negative impact. I don't think people realize. And then it's all going to be fun and games until these people start making all kinds of, unsolicited comments and stuff like that. Like, and it's not enough to say, oh, I can just post whatever I want and people should just let me post it. Like, when you put something out there, it's out there for anybody to see and say what they want and do what they will with it. Like, once you've posted it, that's it. That's why I keep saying, like, why does she need to post her daughter on the internet? Like, the best way to combat this and to protect her child as she grows up is to not put her out there. Like I said, you know how I feel about these celebrities, but even Beyonce doesn't even put her children out there a lot of times. Like, you've seen, Blue Ivy a couple of times, but you don't really see the twins that much. Every now and then she'll drop a photo, but she don't be putting her children out there like that. Because even she knows that that's not good, that that's not appropriate, and it's not safe for the kids. Although, anyways, there were even people that were saying, because you've always got to have tweets that, cancel out the stupid, right? The dumb tweets, right? So there were even people acknowledging and admitting, hey, just because my parents let me listen to all kinds of garbage and sexualized music before I was, the right age to be able to listen to it, doesn't mean that some other child should do that. Like, they were acknowledging that, yes, their parents did expose them too early or just was negligent, because that's really what it is. Like, you can say what you want to, but it's really negligence on the parent part. But they acknowledge, like, just because I ended up listening to music or watching something that was, that I shouldn't have watched before that time, or at that time, that doesn't mean that I'm going to let my children watch it. And I'm not going to use the excuse, oh, well, I listened to an explicit song at 12, at 7, at 5, so my children will be fine. No, that's crazy. They're acknowledging and they're being a competent and responsible parent and saying that, I was exposed at an early age, but that's not going to happen to my child. I'm not going to let that happen to my child because, like I said, they are responsible as a parent. They're competent. Okay, they're wise. They are having some kind of, government. They're governing their children accordingly. And see, that's what it really boils down to these days. These are some incompetent, irresponsible, negligent parents who are, they're so far in the limelight. Their head is so far in the clouds that they don't care about what they're doing is affecting their children. And some of them probably do, but they're more concerned about the clout and the money that these people watching their kids on the internet is going to get them. And that's really sad. And also it bothers me when people say, oh, let these kids live, stop bothering them and let them do what they want. Like I said, that's pitiful and it's pretty, blinded, so to speak, unwise, like I said, and just stupid to say. Because some of these kids, like I said, could very well be being exploited for all we know against their will. And us speaking out could help with that. But like I said, when you're incompetent and when you're stupid and when you're blinded by the stardom of it all, you don't see how this could be a problem, how it probably already is a problem. Even if they don't realize that they're being exploited, to them, it might seem all fun and games. So they've got the camera on them. People are watching them. They've got followers, but they don't understand that this is not good for them, which is what children do. Like, they do things, they're involved in things sometimes and they don't understand that it's not good, despite how good it might feel to them, which is, again, where you would need a competent, wise, responsible, not negligent parent to be able to lead you in the right way. I'm just sorry that she doesn't have that. But anyways, y'all let me know what y'all think and how y'all feel down in the comments below. Respectfully, don't forget to like and subscribe. Y'all have a blessed day.